Hi guys! Today this is going to be just a quick tutorial for the people who have bought the tutorials on how to make the haunted farmhouse or farmhouse, either way. This is just a quick little series that I'm doing to show you how to do some of these extra things that I did on here. This time for this video it's going to be this right here, the roofing and how we make this. So set this aside and let's go over supplies. So first thing you're going to need is, this one I got is by Coordinations and it's whitewash collection paper, and for the purposes of the tutorial I got one with a red and white, so that way the red will show up hopefully really well in the video and you'll be able to see it. But this is just a little 6x6 pad. It doesn't cost very much and it works out really well. Also, you're going to want a folder, one of the embossing folders that you think would look good as wood. There are so many of these out there. This particular one is called Notebook and it comes from the Tim Holtz Alterations series, and it is what I used on the farmhouse and it's what we're going to use right now. And basically, let's see how close I can get this. There's a part here on the side that kind of looks like, you know, a notebook. So we're going to skip that part and we're only going to use this part over here. So you'll be able to just cut off the parts that you don't use, but to maximize, you know, your paper, you want to just kind of line it up on the side that you plan on using. So you're going to leave that part out. And then we're just going to run it through the machine. So this is a big shot. I'm just going to put it in. I already have it set up for the right size. Just run it through. Got a lot of room on this little desk here. Let's set this aside. Okay, so when this comes out, you'll take it out here, and then if you want to keep going, as you know, you have a few sections here to do, you would just put it back in on the other side and close it and then run it through again and you'd be able to use the whole page. But we don't need to use the whole page because I'm just going to show you on one little section. So once you've decided how you want this, put it through your folders. You're going to need some type of a light sander. This is one that you use for drywall and it's very well used, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Because, you know, you're not taking paint off, you're just taking off a little bit of paper, and what you want to do is kind of go over it very gently because you're trying to just take some of the whitewash off of the lines, the raised lines, and bring out the paper from the back. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit. See? Look at that. There. So I knew the red was a good choice. So now you have this is ready to go, and what you want to do is a template that we made in the tutorial. You're going to use that template to cut out pieces for your roof out of the scrap chipboard. So for this one I used my template and I cut out a scrap piece for this side here. Okay. All you have to do is you want to put your piece on, and for this I used glue because if you use the double-sided tape or something like that, it might not stay because you're kind of roughing it up a bit. So this is the way the house is going to go. Make sure you line it up the right way and don't stick it on backwards. So I'm going to put some glue on this side here. And you don't need a ton, but make sure it sticks. And then we're going to put it back down on here. Just like that. Give it a chance to dry a little bit. And then you want to just take your scissors. I find it easier to do it this way with loose pieces than to trace it on and then cut it out, because sometimes you mess up you end up cutting it too small or too short, and so I do it this way. And there you go. So there's your roof piece. And because you put it on a separate piece of chipboard like this, now you can raise it. I don't know how well you can see this, but the roof pieces all the way around are raised. And I raised them up with some of these sticky things. I got these at Walmart. They cost like $1 each, and it comes with actually some long strips right here, which you can see I've already used, and then some squares. And all I did with those is I cut them up kind of skinny. I won't do it with this one, but and just put them, you know, along the top here. And it went all the way across because I used the skinny lined ones, but I don't have any of those left. It went all the way across here and down because I didn't want any parts showing. And because it's white, this is my little trick. I don't know of any place that sells these any other color but white. But you don't want white showing. So these new Distress Paints by Tim Holtz, these work great because they dry really fast. They're really easy to use, and you can see over here on, put it right here on my mat. Just put a little bit of paint right there. Take a paintbrush, get it wet, and then just paint over the exposed parts. See? So now when you attach it to your house, you're not going to see the white anymore. It'll look the same as this, which is black. You can do the same thing if you're using brown, you know, the brown chipboard or white chipboard. Well, if you're using white, you probably don't need to paint it because it's already white, but you get the idea. You can just paint it, and then you don't have to worry about covering it up with anything else. Now, as soon as you have this ready to put on your house, I'll bring my little house back over here so you can see it. You're going to do this for each one of these. As you can see, I kind of did some more roughing up here and there, little holes and stuff. And that's just simply going over here and taking it and then just grabbing out pieces of it. Now that I glued it on here, it's like, it doesn't want to come off. You see, you can just pull it off in chunks and pieces. And then you can further stress it out by putting some Distress ink on it and make it look even older. There. I don't know if you can, how well you can see it, but this is what we look like now. With it being like this and raised up, now you can put it off to the side so it kind of looks like it's falling down. It doesn't have to be straight on and looking perfect. You can make it kind of off center a little bit and make it look cute. And then all of this stuff here, I'm going to show you how I did that too. Some more goodies. These are just little wooden sticks. Real thin. Not expensive at all. Another thing that you can get at Michael's or Joann's, they sell them in the little wood crafting section. And you can see before and after. This is what it looks like before I destroy it, and then this is what it looks like after. And this again is the same thing. First thing I did with this is I took my little paint dauber here and just using the tip, the daubing, painted them. Let them sit over here and dry for a minute, and then once they were dry, all you have to do is figure out where you want them to be. So I wanted it to look kind of broken, and so I looked at it here, went like this, broke it, made sure that there was some ends sticking out, and then glued it down, kind of off center like this. And then the other piece I took and went kind of like right next to it, but this way. You see that? And then that kind of makes it look like it's, you know, broken and beat up. And that's what I did for all the pieces that go all around the roof and my porch railings. So I have the broken porch railings here, up here, all this stuff. So that's pretty much it. That's how you make your roof look like this by just using, you know, stuff you have laying around the house that you would maybe not normally use to make a roof. And the clasp here is, again, it's another piece of chipboard, and then I just cut out a beware sign from the paper collection that I used for this book, Witch Hazel, and on the back of this there's a magnet. There's a magnet here, and then there's also a magnet underneath here, so it's lined up. So when you have your house here, I just took this, put it across the top, figured out where the magnet was going to be, opened it, put the other magnet underneath here so you're not going to see it, and then attached it to the house. So that way when you close it, it goes right to the magnet. Okay, so that's it for the roof and showing you how to do this, and just again, just, you know, kind of beat things up and make them look, you know, old and worn out. And I guess that's pretty much it. Oh, and the little X up here, same thing. You take the wood, take your Tim Holtz scissors, and you can cut this wood as best you can without splitting it. I did a much better job when I did it, but even if you have splits like this, and then you put them on over your little hole that you pulled out in an X pattern, and that's it. That's how you make that part too. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye bye.